So, I haven't told you guys, but I've been a fish keeper. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and if you like the video, leave a thumbs up. I'm one of those guys, yeah. Anyway, so I've actually kept cichlids for the past, 4 years in a Marineland 70 with a custom stand that I built, and then I made a bunch of automated things using PCBs. So, like, I had a temperature sensor, I had overflow sensors, I had an overflow pump out pump and sensor for it. So, I would drip 5 gallons a day into the 70 gallon, which had two 40s attached on a 30-gallon sump. And I wouldn't have to change the water at all. I'd go 6 months without having to change the filter media even. Anyway, I gotta go. But I've recently upgraded to an Oceanic 120, and I'm going to be sharing my saltwater voyage with you all. So look forward to it. It all started with a visit to Henry's Bait and Tackle in downtown Chicago, or I guess the south side. And, I picked up a bunch of bait minnows, and I went fishing with them, and then I had a bunch left. So I came home, and, I had an old 20-gallon long laying around from, I guess, the prior owner, or, maybe I picked it up at an estate sale along the way. It started as a bait fish tank. My daughter wanted to keep one of the bluegills that we caught. Got some goldfish, some feeder goldfish. It kind of just started from there. A few of the stronger feeder goldfish kind of hung on through the winter. We had long since returned the bluegill to the pond. And then at that point I was just like, I kind of wanted to add plants, and so I started looking for a used a light on OfferUp. I came across 120 gallon Marineland tank with a canister filter and a light and about 12 cichlids, 12 African cichlids, a bunch of rock. So it was everything I needed to start the tank, and I got it home and set up. The fish thrived, and I started really enjoying the hobby. So much so that I decided it was time to improve my filtration a little bit. So I went back onto OfferUp, and I actually found used tanks, some 29 gallons. Why not make a 29-gallon sump? So, I planned it out. I ended up cutting one of the tanks apart and using the glass to make the baffles. I watched King of DIY, made some overflows so I didn't have to drill the tanks. One thing I did not plan for was the actual size of the stand and getting the tank in. So, I couldn't fit it in. So I ended up making a stand off to the side and running the sump there. That was kind of interesting. It worked out for a while. I experimented with DIY canister filters. Anyway, I decided once I got my hands on a 20-gallon tank to remake the sump. So I went ahead and did that, and then I put it in the stand. It fit. I was able to put a 15-gallon next to it as a little makeshift refugium. I decided to mess with making manifold out of hot tub PVC parts and bought new rocks. I decided it was time to make a stand. Made it quite a bit taller. Now the sump looked pretty small in the stand. I was able to find a couple of 40-gallon breeders. I was driving one day. I saw a 30-gallon long on the side of the road and picked it up. All the seals were shot, didn't hold water, but I ended up taking it apart and then remaking it as a much easier sump to maintain. And then I got into automation because I wanted to automate my water changes. It was my success in fresh water that made me interested in saltwater and the equipment necessary to keep corals and saltwater fish alive. I started looking for a 120-gallon reef-ready tank. I came across this Oceanic 120. It was a great opportunity, so I ended up selling all the cichlids and the tank and everything, and picking up this Oceanic 120. Now that I have the saltwater tank in the basement, if you want to participate in my saltwater journey, subscribe, click the bell.